Hello and welcome to ThePrint. Bengaluru, known globally as India's IT capital and one of the most vibrant startup ecosystems, is facing an unprecedented water crisis. But what triggered this crisis? Was it decades of unplanned and unregulated growth, rapid erosion of green cover, overexploitation of natural resources, excessive concretization, or encroachment of lakes and other water bodies? The answer is actually all of the above, coupled with widespread corruption and apathy. Bengaluru's future and the future of nearly 15 million of its residents' lives is now at stake. To tackle the water scarcity issue in Bengaluru and nearby districts, the Bangalore Water Supply and Sewerage Board on Friday introduced fines for non-essential use of potable water, including activities like car washing and gardening. The fines begin at Rs 5,000 and with subsequent violations incurring an additional 500 rupees penalty each time. But nearly 50% of the city does not get Kaveri water and rely on borewells and tankers for its water supply. Drinking water comes in the forms of cans and bottles in most homes, especially in the outer areas of the city. Dependence on water tankers saw higher exploitation by those who draw water from villages and supply it to high-rise apartments and gated communities within the city, leading to a sharp decline in groundwater levels. Lake rejuvenation, experts say, has become a lucrative money-making exercise as more water bodies disappear and are replaced with concrete structures. T.V. Ramachandra from the Center for Ecological Sciences at the Indian Institute of Science said that while the issue has always been present, prolonged droughts and extensive concretization, compounded by a lack of political resolve to take mitigating measures, have worsened the situation in Bengaluru. He said that in the 1970s, there was 68% green cover in Bengaluru and less than 8% of the surface was concrete. In 2023 or 2024, however, this has changed with paved surfaces now occupying 86%, while vegetation accounts for a mere 3 to 4%. Concretization, he said, had restricted rainwater from entering the lower layers of the ground, adversely impacting recharge of groundwater tables. By IISc estimates, nearly half of Bengaluru depends on groundwater. As native rivers like Rishbhavati have been reduced to mere drains, the city now relies on drawing fresh water from the Kaveri River, located nearly 100 kilometers away, depriving neighboring districts of their water resources to satiate the ever-growing thirst of India's IT capital. The state government continues efforts to regulate prices of water tankers, which experts say are short-term measures, instead of focusing on long-term solutions like lake rejuvenation and clearing encroachments on natural valleys that retain water for drier days and prevents flooding during downpours. Several housing complexes in Bengaluru have now received letters warning penalties on misuse of water. Bengaluru receives an annual of around 900 millimeters of rain, yet a significant portion of this is diverted into drains. While the extensive stormwater drain network was initially intended to direct this water into natural water bodies, it now contributes to flooding events. Encroachments along these drainage lines compel the water to overflow and flood the basements of apartment buildings and commercial complexes that stand on what were once valleys and lakes, experts say. Bengaluru's water problem may seem contradictory, according to a 2023 report by Wells Labs. It adds that in the height of the summers, borewells and lakes dry up and tanker supplies, supply water to various places. During monsoons, large part of the city faces severe flooding. The 2021 flooding had inundated several parts of Bengaluru, especially localities like Mahadevpura and Bommanhalli that house technology corridors. Sharan Poovanna, hydrologist at Wells Lab, said that the per capita consumption of water in urban areas is around 150 litres per day. But Bengaluru, like other urban cities in India, does not have equitable distribution, forcing some to survive on far less compared to others who can afford to wash their cars daily. Bengaluru has a core area which does not see flooding or droughts, largely since these are planned neighbourhoods, unlike the newer orbital localities. Unplanned areas on the exterior circle are prone to floods and droughts, experts say. The widespread leakage of the scarce Kaveri water in core areas feeds into the groundwater table, while those on the periphery are forced to rely on tankers. Of the 1900 MLD of waste water generated per day, about only 800 is sent to fill up tanks and lakes in neighboring districts, while Bengaluru residents consume more fresh water. Lake rejuvenation, experts say, has become a money-making program, with large water bodies like Bengaluru, that counts one-third of Bengaluru as its catchment, foam up due to industrial effluent and sewage water flowing directly into them. But an expanding city from around 300 square kilometers to about 800 square kilometers since 2006, when the BMP became the BBMP, has seen large water bodies being lost to encroachments and being replaced with housing and other development, restricting natural percolating mechanisms and creating new problems. I may have repeated the term encroachments, loss of green cover and concretisation a lot, but experts say that these aspects cannot be stated enough, and there is little to suggest that the government is cracking down on any of these aspects. As part of its developmental plans, the state government and city corporation continue to rely on concretisation or white topping of city roads, adding to heat and preventing rainwaters from entering the ground. Experts say that the citizens must become environmentally literate and demand better governance. But if the same level of apathy and corruption continues, next year or the year after may just be worse. Thank you for watching.